US ally builds Shahd-style drone swarms after lessons from Iran reshape modern battlefield strategy. 60,000 drones. US ally takes a page from Iran's low-cost, high-impact drone warfare playbook. Did Iran's low-cost drones expose the limits of the world's most expensive weapon systems? Mujtaba's own ally, Kim, to face Shahd-style drone swarms as regional militaries embrace Iran's battlefield model? South Korea said it would rapidly expand its drone forces after studying battlefield lessons from the wars in Ukraine and Iran. Seoul said it would field the K-Lucas suicide drone, reportedly modeled on Iran's Shahed-136 loitering munition, according to Yonhap. Defense Minister On Ju-bak said low-cost, mass-produced drones had fundamentally reshaped the nature of modern warfare. He said South Korea would accelerate deployment of the K-Lucas as part of a broader strategy to rapidly expand its drone capabilities. The K-Lucas was designed as a long-range, one-way attack drone intended to strike fixed military targets at extended distances. Seoul said North Korea's expanding drone capabilities had increased threats to both military installations and civilian infrastructure. The military also said it planned to introduce about 11,000 drones across its armed services during 2026 to strengthen operational readiness. Seoul will also produce about 60,000 drones by 2029 for the Army, Navy, Air Force, and Marine Corps, according to Reuters. Officials also said the military would acquire more than 20,000 low-cost expendable drones to strengthen battlefield and training capabilities. The plan includes AI-powered drone swarms, loitering munitions, and advanced counter-drone systems to enhance future combat effectiveness. Seoul said laser weapons and high-power microwave systems would strengthen national defenses against increasingly sophisticated drone threats. Seoul said a newly established drone headquarters would replace the previous Drone Operations Command to improve force integration. The restructuring followed controversy surrounding a 2024 drone incursion into North Korea that prompted a review of military drone operations. Amid renewed scrutiny of Iran's nuclear sites, North Korea has suddenly re-entered the spotlight, dragged back in by claims of covert engineering deals. A former North Korean diplomat has claimed that Pyongyang helped design and build Iran's nuclear tunnels, according to a report now rippling through policy circles. Ryu Hyun-woo says North Korea received around $25 million for sharing its tunnel technology, turning underground know-how into hard currency. The former envoy alleges those designs were applied directly at Natanz and Isfahan, two of Iran's most sensitive nuclear facilities. His claims surfaced in a recent interview published by the Korea Development Institute, giving them an academic platform and fresh global attention. Iran has never publicly acknowledged receiving any tunnel expertise from North Korea, keeping official silence over who helped shape its underground network. The US has already used powerful bunker buster bombs against Iran's hidden nuclear sites, aiming to smash reinforced hulls carved into rock. Yet Iran did not report severe damage to those facilities despite intense bombing, fueling suspicions that the tunnels were tougher than US planners expected. Ryu has rejected claims of any direct North Korean links with Hezbollah or Hamas, insisting Pyongyang did not work with those groups, according to Iran International. However, he suggested Iran itself may later have shared the tunnel knowledge with its allies, hinting the designs could have traveled further through Tehran. The former diplomat said such a technology transfer cannot be ruled out, leaving open the possibility that Hezbollah's own tunnels owe something to Korean models. Earlier reporting in US media claimed North Korea helped build several of Iran's underground sites, reinforcing the picture of long-running cooperation. Analyst Bruce Bechtel has argued that North Korean teams helped construct major facilities at Isfahan in the early 2000s, when Iran's program was rapidly expanding. Those reports also linked Pyongyang to missile support, factory build-outs, and technical staff on the ground, suggesting a broader partnership beyond just tunnels. Neither Tehran nor Pyongyang has publicly confirmed any of these alleged technology transfers, leaving the most sensitive details buried under layers of denials. Iran began seriously developing its missile program in the 1980s, in the aftermath of the Iran-Iraq War, when devastating Iraqi strikes convinced Tehran that it needed long-range, indigenous firepower that could not be cut off by sanctions or embargoes. Hajizadeh said, and I quote, In the field of armaments, during the years after the Iran-Iraq War, Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei encouraged self-sufficiency, indigenization, and standing on our own feet, but this is just one issue. But the question of which path to take, which weapons to indigenize, and how to do so, is a crucial matter. We needed to choose the right direction well. For example, over the past 30 years, perhaps. Starting from 1984, especially in the missile field, we see this emphasis consistently across different years. Unquote. Iran's first serious step into the ballistic missile arena came when it procured North Korea's Hwasong-5 and Hwasong-6 systems, using these imported designs as the starting point for its own long-range strike capabilities. Over time, Tehran began buying more Korean technology and components, eventually using that know-how to launch domestic production lines that could turn foreign blueprints into locally built missiles. Reports suggest that thousands of North Korean missile specialists spend extended periods in Iran, working side by side with Iranian engineers to troubleshoot designs, train crews, and accelerate the maturation of Iran's missile programs. These foreign experts also helped Iran design and fortify underground bunkers and harden sites for its missile and nuclear-related infrastructure, making it far harder for any air campaign to wipe out Tehran's strategic assets in a single blow. Those deep, hardened facilities proved crucial during recent wars with Israel and the United States, allowing Iran to keep firing salvos even under heavy bombardment and to sustain its missile capabilities over weeks of combat. Hajizadeh argued that investing in ballistic missiles had delivered far better results for Iran than trying to build a modern air force, because missiles were cheaper, harder to intercept, and less dependent on access to foreign technology and spare parts. Hajizadeh said, and I quote, "If we had followed the path taken by the rest of the world, where both the East and West primarily pursued offensive weaponry through aircraft development. If we followed the path of the world, who have now reached, for example, fifth-generation fighter aircraft, we would likely still have been struggling at around the third generation." What does that mean? It means that whatever we did, we would always be behind them, with a lag of 50 years. But instead of falling behind the enemy and never being able to catch up, we chose a path that has now placed us face to face with them. Meaning, while we did pursue a threat-based approach in response to the danger we faced, we also developed capabilities that could effectively counter those threats. Unquote. Taken together, these choices form a classic asymmetric investment strategy, where Iran accepted weakness in conventional areas in order to build up a powerful, cost-effective missile deterrent. Crippling Western sanctions and limited cash flow forced Tehran to be selective, pushing it to concentrate scarce funds on missiles and underground infrastructure instead of expensive aircraft fleets or blue water naval ambitions. The wars of June 2025 and February 2026 became the first true large-scale tests of Iran's missile program in real combat, showcasing both the strengths and limits of decades of investment in rockets, launchers, and hardened sites.